support Dudulas method and whatever they do. But when it comes to Zimbabweans, they've treated us fairly. They don't care whether you're from Shonaland, whether you're from Ndebeles. Go and build your country. Simple like that. Simple like that. That is the approach that we want in Zimbabwe. If you are in Zimbabwe, build your country regardless of the location. Not this mentality of saying you cannot come to Ndebeles, you cannot come to Shonaland. What's wrong with our people? Are we starting to divide ourselves now? We are busy fighting ourselves. But who is looting? But it is fine. Mr. Eland, thank you so much. Thank you so much. You can go ahead, Mr. Moff.
Thank you. Finally, before I start laying out what is in my mind and what I know, it's the worst thing that ever happened to humankind. It's politicians. Those are the worst creatures that we have, because politicians, when they necessarily don't have anything tangible to offer to us, they always find something to blame on and make us hate each other and fight each other, and they feed through that. It's the same scenario that is in Zim right now. Do you know, when you are growing up and you are staying in Zim and you go to tertiary education, because in tertiary education, that's when you start to meet people from Binga, people from Ndebeles, and people from Shonaland at one institute. And you are okay, you are friends, you are what. But after that, when you get into the real world, and when you start to hear politicians talking, that's when you start to hear that there is tribalism. Shonas don't like Ndebeles. Ndebeles don't like Shonas. But when you are in those institutes, you don't even see it, because you are friends, you are talking, and you don't even have such kind of discussions. That's when you start to realize that some of the hatred that hinders development and progression in our lives it's brought by politicians. If now you can hear Ndebeles saying that we don't want Shonas in Ndebeles. You hear Shonas saying we don't want Ndebeles in Shonaland. And the funny part, it's okay for Ndebeles to receive a white person from Europe and start staying in Bulawayo than a Zimbabwean person to come and stay in that province. It's a big problem. You understand? It's okay for me not to have Ndebeles on my side, but it's fine for a Chinese to come all the way from China and stay in Shonaland and even do mining. That's when you start to understand the dynamics of these things, that some of the things, they don't even make sense, and they should never make sense to someone who have you understand? Why would you think that someone who carries the same ID as yours in the same country should not reside on your side? First of all, I ask myself, what effect does it have from someone from Bulawayo being my neighbor in Harare? What effect does it have on me? Nothing affects me. We pay the same rates. We pay the same rates to the same council. We go to the same work, we get the same salaries. So everyone have got a freedom of choice of where they can be in the same country. Some countries doing it, having demarcations according to tribes, they can do it, but it does not mean it's right. You understand? And people, we have to understand that cultures that we want to follow in a real world, culture evolves with time. There was a time it was necessary to do that, but this is 2025. We are no longer staying in keeps. We are no longer staying in small things. We are now in a global village. If you understand the term global village, people need to move. People need to do A, B, C, and D. But if we still have that kind of mindset that divides us, we will never achieve one common goal. Because the moment we are divided in the mind, that means that our goals, our targeted goals become different. And let me tell you something. When someone brings facts in these panels, I see some people, they feel attacked. The moment you prove that you are losing a discussion is the moment that you start to think that facts are attacking, you are being attacked when you start hearing facts. I heard people saying that, okay, we can fight the government, okay, as we want to be on this side, as we want to be on this side. You have to understand this one thing. Shonas are a lot in this country, in Zimbabwe. They are the bigger population. So it's very common for you to be in another region and you see a Shona person because they are the biggest population. It's like 80% to 20%. So when you see Shonas appearing to be like they are more in your province, you start to feel as if they are overcrowding you or they are taking your space. But it's about numbers. And that's one of the things that will never make parties like MRP succeed. The reason being that politics sometimes is a game of numbers. How are you supposed to overturn a country of a population of 17 million if you have a party that is tribal-centric, but to a tribe that have a population of, let's say, 1 million? How are you going to overturn that? It's not logical. You understand? Let's move our emotions. Let's remove our emotions when we are thinking of these things. Let's use logic. And the more we use logic, that's the more we start to understand the dynamics of how things work. Right now, we are fighting. Okay, Shonas are killing this nation, are destroying our nation. The funny part, ZANU-PF is not a Shona party. There are Ndebeles in ZANU-PF. The finance minister of Zimbabwe, it's ZANU-PF, and he makes one of the is Ndebeles, and he makes one of the worst policies that we have ever made, we have ever faced in this whole country, and is making us suffer economically. These taxes, we nicknamed him Texas Ranger because of taxing us very much. But this guy comes from Ndebeles, but I've never heard people saying Ndebeles, the Ndebeles finance minister is destroying us. People, they just say ZANU-PF is destroying us. That's a sign of understanding how the system is destroying us. And another point I was hearing, that Zimbabwean people are very cowards. They don't want to fix their country. To another extent, yeah, they are cowards in the eyes of people who do not understand the system of Zimbabwe. But to the people who understand the system and how things are working now, understand more of being cowards and not. How can you say Zimbabweans are coward if we are one of the only people in the region, in this SADC, who managed to go to war arms in arms for 20 good years in the bush fighting, and other nations could not even do that. And we didn't have much resources. Cowards do not do that. But look, what we are having a problem, the real problem that we are having now is the structures that we now have. We are talking of organs like SADC. There are things that we understand that we can do. Let's see, I'll give you an example. Study case. What happened in Zambia? People went into the streets. But the other thing is that they did not have a plan B. You understand? Now it is said more than 800 people lost their lives. There was no one to defend them because they were fighting against the army. Don't act as if Zimbabweans have never tried to do that. We lost people. In many ways, we lost people in 2008. We lost people in 2013. We lost people in 2018. Because we didn't have plan B. After that, who are we going to fight? And the SADC, they will never fight. There is no way. I've studied now since SADC was established. When SADC comes to support the people who are doing a revolution, they always stand with the one that is ruling. So some of the things, they are push factors, not that people, they like it. So tribalism, let's not work with it. It's not going to help us. There's no progress in any nation that is divided. And the fight goes on and give chance and leverages of those who are in power to keep on misquandering and feeding more, and us fighting each other for crumbs. Thank you.
Again, can I make my final submission, then I can go, please?
Okay, my brother Eland, thank you so much, brother Eland, thank you so much, Mofu. Please, Dan, you can make your final submission. Let me give you, I think let us give each other 3 minutes, so that people can also have the time to participate. Prince Dan, you can make your final submission. Let me give you 3 minutes. and then we go with order. 3 minutes. Let us respect the time so that other people can also say something. Thank you, my brother. You can go ahead, man.
Thanks, come again. My call for all Zimbabweans, let us not generalizing our problems, developing our problems, Ndauralizing our problems, Zuralizing our problems, and so forth and so forth. You know, the moment when we have problem, we think that our problems are being created by a Ndebele person, our problem are created by a Shona person, then we creating a lot of problem where we're not going to have a united Zimbabwe or a united country. But the moment we see from the angle of all these problems that we have, it is the results of us not really pay attention to what is going on around us. But also it has to do with leadership. Okay, everything rise and fall on leadership. So, and then I think I always come again here. I always give an example. As a Mozambican, I've always given an example. As a country, we used to have problems of tribe issues. Okay, and Samora Machel saw that, and he was this man who was always going almost everywhere in the country, speaking against tribalism, because he knew that tribalism is a weapon that can be used by the imperialists to bring about divisions in the country. Today, he's long gone. Today, we are one of the least troubled country. And I'm not saying we don't have problems. We do have problems, but our problem is not based on that one created the problem for me. I created the problem for that one. Our problem is created by us, the people in the country, because if problem rises within our country, we cannot blame somebody. Yeah, we can say external force there and there, but those external forces you find, for example, the 16 years of civil war in our country was created by an external force by using our own people in the country. So what I'm trying to say, Mkomagem, is this: let's look all the problem as the problem that are in between us, and then let's work hard to come together as a people so that we can face our problem as collectively, to fight them so that we can become better and better as people, as a country. But like I've said, everything rise and fall on leadership. If there's no leadership in some of these problems that we face every day, we're not going to solve these problems. And that's where we find out having a vacuum of now trying to blame one another. That your problem is because of you, Ndebele. Your problem is because of you, Shona. It's because of you, Ndau, Zezurus, and so forth and so forth and so forth. Because the leadership is not available. So that's my final delivery submission. Come again. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much, Prince. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. I respect you. I respect the people of Mozambique. There would not be Zimbabwe if it was not the help from Mozambique and other players. I respect the people, brave people of Mozambique. Thank you so much, my brother. Let's go to One Africa, 3 minutes. Then we go to Ghost. Then we go to Dr. Paul, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes, 3 minutes. Then we circulate. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, leadership. Thank you. I have respect for everyone. Doesn't matter which tribe you are or where you are located in Africa. I respect all Africans, but we need to be honest and be brutally honest to one another. I still insist that the problem of Zimbabwe has nothing to do with ZANU-PF. There completely has something to do with the Shona tradition. And I will insist on that. It's a truth, it's a fact. The manner in which Shona people do things is what is destroying Zimbabwe. And apparently that's what started to raise alarm in South Africa, you know. And it's just truth. We need to say it as it is. I have to ask you, Shona brothers who are here in the platform in UGAM, if you have a situation where people of a certain tribe, or let me just use tribe for the sake of this discussion, come and occupy a space, right? I don't know where you're from, Kem. Let me give you an example. Let's say you're from Harare, and all of a sudden you walk up in Harare, there's a lot of Ndebeles in the shops. You walk in, there's a Ndebele that is serving you everywhere. How are you going to feel about it? I want you to be practical about it. I don't know which village you're from, but all of a sudden in your village, you have Ndebeles all over the place. How are you going to feel about it? It's not a matter of tribalism. It's a matter of, it's just an organic. It's not practical that you have one ethnic group coming to dominate the other and you find it justifiable. It's the same thing in South Africa. And
Nothing to feel there, brother. Can I hold you up, one Africa? Sorry.
Hold on, Joe. Hold on, Joe.
So it's the same thing where I agree with people, with patriots in South Africa. You can't have a system where people from outside will come and dominate the people who are local and native in that space. It's practically impossible. I will never support that nonsense. If we are going to unite Africa on the basis of others coming to dominate others, that's nonsense. Then fuck off with that unity. The unity of Africa is based on you need to be where you are and benefit from your resources where you are. You don't have to be moving and go and dominate other people. That's what we're saying by the unity of Africa. Having one currency, having one military that will protect us, all of us as Africans. But this unity on the basis of one tribe, finding it justifiable to go and dominate another tribe, right? Taking other people's land, and you call it that's unity. That's nonsense. We need to be brutally honest. What Shona people are doing to Ndebele people is unjustifiable, it's wrong, and it must stop. And it has nothing to do with ZANU-PF. It's just the Shona tradition. It has to stop. Thank you.
Thank you so much, One Africa. Thank you so much, One Africa. You talk about the issue of domination, right? 200 years ago, history is there. Nguni people from KZN, they come to what we now know as Zimbabwe. In smaller numbers, they dominated the whole area. Go and ask the Kalangas, they told you the truth. But we have passed that one, man. If Ndebele comes from Ndebeles and reside in Harare, we do have them a lot. We don't fight. We wake up, we hustle, we're suffering together. The problem is in Ndebeles, whereby we have got a group of, disgruntled people who are saying we don't want Shona people here. There is no border in Zimbabwe. There is no border in Zimbabwe. That's why I'm saying you are referring to two countries which have got two separate political systems, Zimbabwe and South Africa. If that one is working in SA equity, Zulus they stay in KZ and this one they stay where, let it be practice there. In Zimbabwe we don't have borders. The problem that we have in Zimbabwe is that we lack opportunities, whereby a guy from Shona land can go and look for opportunities in Bulawayo. A guy from Bulawayo can go and look for opportunities in Zimbabwe. That is right. But I'm saying to Shona people who are going to Ndebeles, respect the culture of the people, respect the people there. But nobody's going to stop you to go to Ndebeles. Just like the people in Ndebeles, nobody's going to stop you to go to Shona land. Up until we say no. Ndebeles is a nation now. A country with a president, with its jurisdiction. For as long as we are still under Zimbabwe, nobody can stop anybody to go anywhere. This mentality of saying you mustn't come here, that one myself personally, I'm still gonna fight it and up until my last day on earth, because I believe that we still have one country. This thing of saying we want to divide, no, you can come here, it does apply and work in Zimbabwe.
All right. On point on clarity, Hunter, because I think me and you, we need to
Ghost. How are you?
I'll open a live, just me and you engage, because I think you are misrepresenting history, and now you are telling us about the Mziliga's people, how they arrive in Zim. You don't know that history. You clearly don't know what happened.
Hold on, my brother. Hold on.
You see,
Don't distort history, my brother. Don't distort history. Don't distort history. We know our history. The Kalangas, they know their history. Don't try to support. Hold on. Just hold on. You're my brother. You are the one who want to try to.
We have been quiet. You don't
You are
tell
the
us
one
about history as if we don't know history here. We know a lot of things and we try to forget a lot of things because they happened in the past. But that doesn't make us stupid.
You are misrepresenting history. There is no way in history when Ndebele people dominated Shona people. Ndebele people and Shona people ruled together.
What your history is.
Hold on. Mr. Eland, hold on. Just hold on, my brother. If you want to be one Africa. If you want to be here, behave, right? Or you leave.
But you are lying. Okay? I'm trying to correct you. That's why we say,
my brother, hold on. Don't come here and intimidate people, right? We know our history. There is no way you can distort history. Even if you can ask someone in KZT and good, what happened during Shaka and Mthwakazi, they tell you the story verbally. We know what happened in Ndebeles, and don't try to distort history. We said it's over. We have moved past that one. Let's build a beautiful and better Zimbabwe for the Ndebeles, for the Shonas, for the Ndaos, and everyone who resides in Zimbabwe. This tribalistic mentality, my brother, I don't want to lie. Us as Shona people are going to sort it out our own way. We are not scared of anyone. We have got more problems in Zimbabwe to solve. This issue of tribal Shona and Ndebele, we are going to sort it out very soon. But after we are done with the main issue. Ghost, you can go ahead.
Morning, everyone.
Thank you. You can go ahead.
Yes, my host, I think there's a huge problem here. And let me just get straight to the point. If Zimbabweans can be open to learning, there will be a change there. But the problem now is that they think they know a lot. And if they did know a lot, they wouldn't be in that position they are in right now. But you are still continuing with that same mentality of knowing a lot. There's a guy here who said tribalism, like here in South Africa, we have provinces, KZN, Eastern Cape, Limpopo, yes. And every tribe has their own place to stay in. The thing there, a baby can go to KZN. They're not gonna be fight. No one is gonna fight a baby there. They're gonna stay peacefully in KZN. But the issue is that everyone from Limpopo, everybody now is moving to KZN and they're dominating KZN. What's going to happen to the culture of KZN? What's going to happen to KZN people? That's the fight there. Same thing here. Shonas. Everyone from Zimbabwe is running away from home, coming here in South Africa, wanting to dominate here in Gauteng. Gauteng is for South Africans. I hear that no one comes from South Gauteng, what. There are people who, generations and generations, when gold was still found here, first time gold was found here in Gauteng, they moved here. Those people are from here. Where are they supposed to go? Yes, they might be have a Zulu surname or Swati surname or whatever, but they are from here. They have no one there because they know no one in KZN. So we cannot take a Shona. You fail in Zimbabwe, you come here in South Africa, you want to dominate, and then you want people to Gauteng people to shut up and say, hey, you are not from here, no one is from Gauteng, Gauteng belongs to no one. There's no such a thing, guys. Come on. And the tribal thing, you cannot. Shonas, I see now. Now I see. Shonas, they are. It's fine. We can call on my host.
Yeah, you want to say you are a problem, and I can understand what you want to say. And to be honest, if Shonas were a problem, I want to tell you something. That's why I say people do not understand a lot of things. Especially people are saying the Ndebeles are saying Shonas are a problem. When Zimbabwe got independence in 1980, the actual population of Zimbabweans were around 7 to 8 million people. And we had a lot of people from Mozambique, from Malawi and Zambia. And those people were mostly in Mashonaland areas. And now they got the IDs and whatever. If you go to every odd location in Zimbabwe, you will see that there's a lot of people of Malawian origin, Zambian origin, Mozambique origin. But Shonas, we're okay, we don't have a problem with it. You can get into the same street with 80 houses and you see 60 people in those areas or 70 people. They all hold origins of Malawi. They are origins of Malawi, Mozambique. And Shonas are not a problem with it. There are a lot of Ndebeles that come and stay in Mashonaland side, but we have never had a group that says we don't need Ndebeles in Mashonaland. But the only problem is when Mashonaland people go to Blawai, that's where you find a group of people that say we don't want this tribe. So who is the problem? Because us in Harare, we don't have a problem with everyone. Us in Marondra, we don't have a problem with everyone. And we don't even have a group that advocates for not having someone coming around. But we are even, sometimes we are 50-50 with people of origins of other countries. And we don't even talk about it because we integrated. We accept times changes. People change. People need to move. There are now schools. You can get work. You can be from Ndebeles and get employed in Harare. So do you have to stay in Ndebeles and travel every day to Harare? We have to be reasonable. We have to be people who are progressive. What happened in 30 years ago? Do we have to keep on doing things 30 years ago? We are now advanced. Let's not be like our grandfathers. Let's have minds, man.
Okay, my brother. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I think just hold on, Iris. I think we need to classify this thing, guys. We do have very good people in Ndebeles. Very, very good people who want to build Zimbabwe regardless of tribe. Then we have got these morons, these uneducated, misinformed people from MRP. They are, let me just say, what do you call it? Their manifesto, it's hatred towards Shona people. They have nothing to prove. So let us not associate MRP morons with the majority of Ndebele people. There are a lot of Ndebele people who are doing deals with Shona people respectfully, who are on the ground. I've been to Harare, I've been to Blawai. I've never come across a Ndebele person holding a spear and say Shona people must leave Ndebeles. Never. Even in Mashonaland, I've never come across Shona people chasing away Ndebele people. It's these sick bastards who doesn't know what they want in life. Failed people. Majority of them, they are hiding somewhere in Hillbrow, somewhere in I don't know. They are not on the ground. So let us not, throw a blanket statement to say the people of Ndebeles. No. We respect the people of Ndebeles. And I'm saying to Shona people who are going to Ndebeles, respect the culture of those people. But don't listen to these bandits. We don't have time for that. And no one is going to divide Zimbabwe. We are good the way we are. If we are to fight, we are going to fight to build Zimbabwe together. If you don't want, you can leave. You know where you come from. Shona people, you know where you come from. Ndebeles people, you know where you come from. Nobody is going to force you to stay in Zimbabwe. It's fine like that. Let's go to Dr. Paul.
Thank you, thank you very much, Mkoma Game. Thank you, everyone. Greetings to everyone. I thank you for really step up for this, because this has become something which is poisonous among us, the Zimbabwean people. I always say to my fellow Zimbabweans, we diasporans, we are completely different from the Zimbabweans who are in Zimbabwe. We are now completely different breed. Why? Because we have now having foreign mentality in such a way that we always picture Zimbabwe based on our mentality we have. If you are in a place whereby hate is found, like South Africa, that's where the hate breeds. You will start to picture Zimbabwe that way. Zimbabwe is not like that. Zimbabwe, everyone is treated the same way. Even the story of Gukura Hundi, it's spoken in a faint way. It's very faint. People are not even really interested in that. And again, the Shona people are not all Shona. There's no such tribe as Shona people. It's groups of different tribes. And again, in Mozambique, they are there. Mozambique, they are in a population of about 2 million The Shona population in Mozambique is approximately 2.3 million. This includes the Shona subgroups like the Ndau, Manika, and Tewe. So population of Shona people I've just found it. But what makes the Shona people to be the biggest tribe is a combination of small groups. You get the point? And because we are given, I think it was even necessary to be given that name Shona people. Because at the end of the day, we no longer care or we are no longer conscious of a tribe. We just notice only the accent. Your Shona is just a different accent, and my Shona language is just different accent. But we don't really care about a tribe and we are living very well. And including the Ndebeles people who are in Zimbabwe, they are very peaceful people. They are cool people. The only thing that's happening is you idolize where you come from, which is these people here in South Africa. You idolize the way they do things. And I always see this thing whereby you start to adopt this certain system of being violent unnecessarily, trying to bring it in Zimbabwe. It won't work in Zimbabwe. In Zimbabwe, it won't work. Zimbabwe is not like South Africa. Zimbabwe is ruled by the government. South Africa is ruled within coalition of the people. That's why you're allowed to do even any nonsense in the road, protesting for something which doesn't make sense. Because the system is designed that way here in South Africa. So don't bring the culture of here in South Africa. And this is why it has been a crisis, be it musically, be it innovations and stuff like that. There's been an issue that the Ndebeles has been so quiet. And they found out that they're being so quiet because they are looking towards going to their Jerusalem, which is here in South Africa. That's why they are neglecting their regions. And there have been so many programs which has been prioritized in the Ndebeles land to make Ndebeles land to be more active. Zimbabwe is doing its best to make sure everyone is involved. You understand? So the Zimbabwe you are talking about of division and the Zimbabwe which is in Zimbabwe is completely different. There's got a very different agenda. You understand? And to my brother Pan-African, don't try to, let's say spade is a spade, just like what you said. That's being tribalist. This thing of dividing, you stay over there, you stay over there. Like a question you asked, it's a very weird question for you to ask that question, which means you actually hate other tribes. Because me, I don't care. You check on the video, there is a chief, the courts which are now made in tradition, whereby it was done there in Marondera, down there in the Shona area. And you found out there were two Ndebeles who were there. They were not even mistreated. So don't picture, we know your crisis as a diasporan. We have adopted this thing and depression. All of you diasporans, you have depression because of you, these countries we have been in, and you are adopting that. That cannot work in Zimbabwe.
Thank you so much, Dr. Paul. Thank you so much.
Again.
Just hold on, sir. Just hold on. I'm gonna give everyone a fair chance. Just hold on, Mr. Joe. I'm just gonna say, you know what, guys? Zimbabweans in diaspora, don't copy certain things. You know where you come from. You know the problem that you're facing. You know the problem that forced you to leave Zimbabwe to go to diaspora. When you are there, do the right thing. This thing of copy and paste. You know, I just want to give an example of SA and Zimbabwe here. You know what? Just because SA is now no longer tolerating nonsense about foreigners. That's why people, Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe and Zimbabweans outside Zimbabwe, they are now beginning to take the Zimbabwean issues so seriously. Because you know what? At home, it's burning. In foreign land, it's burning. And I want you to keep it like that. Up until we stand up and say, we want this. Are we okay with the government that we have? No, we don't. Is it working for us? Yes, is it working for us? Those are the questions that we need to ask ourselves as Zimbabweans so that we can have a good country. We are not here to condemn. We are not here to fight. We are not here to do anything. If the government is good on this thing, let us talk about it. If they mess up, let us correct them. That's what we want as Zimbabweans. This thing of tribal, guys, we are in 2025. We want to go back to Shaka Zulu's time and then we bring those issues here. Guys, man, no, man. Okay, it's fine. Let's go to Ralph. After Ralph, then we go to, is it Iris? Ralph, 3 minutes. Ralph, 3 minutes. Ralph, are you there?
Yes, I am. Okay, greetings. I'm sure. Can you hear me?
Positive. You can go ahead now.
Okay. The problem that I have with people is is we have this tendency of pinning everything, every problem that we have, and alienating or aligning it to the ZANU PF. Me honestly, me truly speaking, I really do support the party, and I love it wholeheartedly, as young as I am. And the only reason why I tend to support it is because of people like G. Joe's mindset, and I was here listening to other people speaking. Do you really understand what it simply means for you to actually be called Zimbabwe? Because if it wasn't for ZANU PF, then you would still be in Rhodesia. And I feel like just because you are living in the now moment, you overlook the past, but you don't understand where you came from and how you came to be right now. You were just speaking from a point of privilege where you feel everything is just aired out on a silver platter. You are enjoying the benefits, yet you undermine the struggle. You understand? And I believe, as a normal citizen, as a normal Zimbabwean citizen, in order for you to better understand your future, you also have to understand your past. And by past, what do I mean? I don't mean you have to acknowledge or praise or be hands up towards ZANU PF. No, I don't mean it by that. I'm just saying, in the past, you need to analyze, you have to understand what it is to be independent as a normal Zimbabwean citizen. We have
give me a chance to answer to
we have this issue of marginalization. No, wait. We have this issue of marginalization, as the Ndebeles are saying, which I know, me personally, I'm a Zimbabwean, and I know this has been going on. And the reason why I tend to attack the Ndebeles is because of other people, other Ndebeles mindset. But with whatever that guy One Africa was saying, I really do understand him, and I believe we can grow. These people, yes, they have some South African ethnicity in them, but we have to accommodate with them just because ZAPU aligned itself with ZANU PF. We are now one. We are now unified. These problems that we have, they can be fought within ZANU PF. We should have the same mentality. We can't have divided opinions to actually achieve our goal. You understand? As a country, why is it that so many countries now want to engage back with Zimbabwe? That should actually change your mindset, because they now know, they have now seen. If you personally, like you, a normal Zimbabwean citizen, can't see it that ZANU PF is there to stay, and you overlook it, while these other governments are actually acknowledging that it is there to stay. And I don't know, like I'm going to be frank with everyone. I'm not going to seek empathy. I'm not going to speak from a point of trying to seek validation from other people in this panel. No, other governments are noticing that ZANU PF has actually grown more support in Zimbabwe ever than before. Trust me, I know the numbers and I know what it means. You understand? So I have a lot to say, but I'll just keep quiet for now.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Joe,
Can you give me a chance to respond?
Mr. Joe, wait. We've got ladies who haven't said anything. Just hold on. I'm gonna give you the time to respond to. I'm gonna give you the time to respond to. Yeah. You know what, Ralph? I don't want to lie, my brother. Some of the things, some of the problems that we are facing as a country is because of the missteps of ZANU PF. Let us not also forget the interference of the West. So when we want to build a Zimbabwe, let us build a Zimbabwe based on the foundation of, truth. To say, guys, okay, this is what we did as Zimbabwe under this government. It was wrong. Let us try to correct it. If a Ndebeles person comes here and says, this is what we are facing in Mthwakazi, let us not siphon them. Let us not, silence them. Let us listen to them. If a Shona person comes from Shonas and say, this is the problem that we are facing in Mashonaland, Ndebeles people also listen. Here is what I've realized in Zimbabwe, us as Zimbabweans. If a person from Ndebeles comes here and says, this is what you are facing in Ndebeles, another guy from Ndebeles comes and says, no, in Ndebeles we are facing the same thing. Nobody wants to listen to anyone. Nobody wants to listen to anyone. If a guy from Ndebeles say, no, this is the problem here. Right now, people are complaining about this. Is it Gwanda border, where Zimra is checking the passport and stuff like that? I just want to ask one person here. When did this thing start? This thing of checking passports, the Zimra, the declaration of goods. When did this thing start? Is there anyone on the panel who can answer? When did this thing start?
It started this year, but they are still debating about it. I think they're going to disband it.
Okay, my sister, let me tell you. In Zimbabwe, it started in 2016. I'm saying in Mashonaland. 2016, just after they took over the what you call this thing? No, after 2017. That's when this thing started in Mashonaland. Nobody cries. Ask anyone about the Mbudzi this one, the area around before they even built this area. That's where they were doing stuff there. Some of the buses, you can park your bus there up until 6 hours, 6 days, one week. But sure, Mashonaland people, we never complain. We never complain. This is what has happened. Passport, we used to be checked the passport there. You can be fast at the border, but you know when you are there, you're going to be delayed. We never complained. But we are not saying the people in Ndebeles, they must keep quiet when something is wrong in their area. But right now, when you hear from people, it seems as if this thing is happening only in Ndebeles land. Ask any Zimbabwean who is across border what is happening in that area. Goods being taken without a receipt being taken. Yeah, you are taking things out of SA without you are stealing from SA. Everything being taken without even a receipt. Things are being taken. But people are quiet. But when it happened in Ndebeles, no, this thing. So I'm saying let us learn to listen to each other before we go and vent online. But it's fine. Eris, you can go ahead. Let me give you your time.
Okay, I wanted to talk about the issue of the Ndebele people and the Shona people. The Ndebele people just think that everyone who doesn't speak Ndebele is Shona. I just wanted to make it clear that in Harare, Mashonaland West, Mashonaland Central, Manicaland, and some parts of Masvingo, there are people from Mozambique, Zambia, and Malawi. So don't say everyone is Shona. So if you have a problem with people from those sides, just name them and don't say they are Shona people. And another thing that I wanted to talk about is no one is from Zimbabwe. So the Shona people and the Ndebele people, they have to stop fighting. The Shona people are also from Tanzania, and some of the other people are from Zambia. The Ndebele people are also from KZN. So you guys, you don't have to fight. No one belongs to Zimbabwe except the Doma people and the Tonga people. Thank you.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you, my sister. You have nailed it. And I'm
I have a chance now.
The people who came yesterday, they are the ones who want to tell the original people they found on the land. This is how are we going to run the country. You know where you come from. It's fine. Let's go to Richard. Karabo, I'm coming to you. Karabo, I'm coming to you. Karabo, I'm coming to you.
Someone, I'm just wrapping up something quickly. I'll come on. Thank you.
Okay, fine. Karabo, you wanted to say something? I saw you're raising your hand there. You can go ahead, my sister. Iris, I thank you so much, my sister.
I wanted to address the guy. It's Dr. Paul something down there. Dr. Paul, you know, the problem that we have, you have, Wayne, and probably I have, and like the hosts say, I don't like what Operation Dudula is doing, but one thing I love about Operation Dudula, they are not saying, no, you are Shona, you are Ndebeles. They are saying, you go back to Zimbabwe and fix your country. You have an anger issue. You have an anger issue towards South Africans. And that's why when you are talking, you like, South Africa this, South Africa that, South Africa this, South Africa that. I am saying in South Africa as we speak, we have issues. If you saw, I'm not a member of Operation Tudula nor any political party. I'm not affiliated with any political party. But you saw, they were getting arrested for almost disturbing the G20, right? The South Africa is divided now as we speak. There's people who are saying I was supporting Operation Dudula. I'm not supporting it after this, because what is it that they are doing? This, they don't know what is it. The problem is we are following political parties, politicians, and we know nothing about politicians. We don't, and politics. We know nothing about what they are saying right now in the G20. We know nothing about what they are doing when they are going overseas. We know nothing. Instead of us uniting on the ground and fighting, the same people, they are appointed by the West to divide and conquer us. Mnangagwa is not there because he wants to be there. He is there because of, even Mugabe was there because of the system that was implemented to divide the people of Zimbabwe so that we can have the so-called Shonas and the so-called Ndebeles, but we are in one country. So if I may ask the Zimbabwean people, what must happen to the Shona people? What must happen to the Ndebele people? Must they leave? It's just like in Nigeria. The Hausa people are blaming the Igbo people. These ones are blaming. If you come to South Africa, the Pedi people are complaining about the Zulu people. If you go to any country, there is something that we are complaining about. It's about time, Zimbabweans, you stop being cowards. I'm going to call you out. You are cowards. You don't want to take responsibility and say, we have a problem and this is our problem. Your problem always is measured with South Africa. No, South Africa this, South Africa that, South Africa this. South Africa is not staying in Zimbabwe. South Africa is not in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has got its own issues that it must deal with. South Africa has got its own issues that it must deal with. Yes, there's a comment that I saw where somebody said, but we can't compare the two. We can compare Africa because we are Africans. We are all Africans and we have the same problem, which is the leaders that are leading us in Africa. We have the same problem. In Africa, we have leaders who are looting from us, who are taking everything that we are working hard for, who don't even care about us. They only care about their children. Who we are looking at their children and saying, they are driving Porsche and Ferrari. Who they are living with slave queens. But we can't do anything. We are struggling to buy a loaf of bread. Yet we are on the ground saying, I hate Ndebeles. Ndebele people, Zimbabweans are like this. I'm talking about what is happening in Zimbabwe as if I'm staying in Zimbabwe. So, Mina, I'm saying to you, Zimbabweans, stop being cowards. There is no Zimbabwe that is going to fix itself. There is no God who's going to come from wherever, the heaven, and fix Zimbabwe so you can go back and find Zimbabwe okay. It's about time. Just like in South Africa, 1976, there was an uprising. And those people that were in exile, not all, the whole country was in exile. It's the only few people who were in exile. And the people who fought for South Africa are the people who stayed in South Africa. What are you going to tell your children if you are hopping and going around the country, moving from one place to the next, hopping and hopping and saying, no, I want greener pastures for my children. I want green, but your children don't even know your father's grave. Eh? What are you going to tell them in future? It's about time, Zimbabweans, you stop blaming anybody. There is a lady who just spoke there.
We have a question after. I have a question after.
It's fine.
No, I just want to ask Karabo a question. Why do you guys always think that Zimbabwe is the poorest country here in South Africa?
We never saw.
We have Malawi. Everyone is complaining in Africa. The Tanzanians, they're also complaining about the president.
Iris, calm down. Relax, my sister. Hold on. Did you hear me say Zimbabwe is the poor country? When you address me with what I've said. Don't address me what.
No, you guys are always talking about Zimbabwe.
Don't say
like
you
Zimbabwe
guys.
is the only country that is poor in Africa.
Hold on, Iris. Did you hear me say Zimbabwe is the poorest country? Have you ever had?
You are saying Zimbabwe, you have to deal with your own issues.
Okay. Let's do like
so
this.
What must I say?
Let's do like
what
this.
Must
Let's
I
do like this.
I'm saying South Africa has got its issues.
Karabo, hold on. Iris, I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're going. But now here is the issue. Karabo, she has never mentioned that. She has never mentioned that. So what I want you to do, Iris, is that I think it's fair. I'm not protecting anyone, but I just want to be fair. I don't know what other people think. I think let's address it based on what she has said. But unless if there's anyone who is here who said Zimbabwe is the poorest, then we can also address that. I don't know. What do you think, my sister Iris?
No, like I'm asking regards to Zimbabwe, you have to fix your own problem. And it's like people, they're only mentioning Zimbabwe as if Zimbabwe is the only people that are all over Africa. Whereas we have Malawians, we have Tanzanians, we have Nigerians. I mean, everyone, they are crying.
Iris,
Tanzanians, they're all actually complaining about their president.
Iris,
but people, they are not talking about them. They're only talking about Zimbabwe.
Iris, you just
Iris,
to the
all right,
net.
okay.
Relax.
Okay. Karabo. I understand, Iris. I understand that. People, they've said this thing. Even people, they've come and say this thing here. And also I have to respond, and I also have other, I have to give other people who are Zimbabwean to respond. Okay, guys, people are saying we must fix our country. Okay, do we need to fix our country? Do we have a problem as a country? So right now here, I think it's fair for Karabo to address it based on what she has said. Because even if I can ask Karabo, what does your people mean when they say we need to fix Zimbabwe? Maybe she has never heard people say that. So I'm thinking that no, let us be fair. Let us address it based on the things that she has said. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
It's a good idea. Can I address based on what she's saying?
Hold on, let me finish.
Okay, it's fine. It's fine. You can finish. Dr. Paul, let her finish. Dr. Paul, I'm gonna give you the chance to respond just after when she's done. Then Ralph also wanted to say something. Then we go to Ashley and is it Dausmos? Then we move on. Karabo, you can finalize the.
Dr. You know the problem with us as black people, as African people, is that we're resolving issues we have out of anger. We don't listen to listen. We're resolving everything out of anger. Number one, even when I started, I said Malawians must fix Malawi. Mozambican must fix Mozambique. Everybody in Africa, we have the same issue, which is the leaders that are leading us. So, Iris, do not listen only to the things that you want to hear. Listen, not to respond. And that is what is destroying us. When I'm saying Zimbabwe, I'm on a Zimbabwean platform. You want me to speak about Malawi on a Zimbabwean platform to say Malawi must fix. If I go to a Malawian platform, I will speak about Malawi. And that's why I'm saying Zimbabwe and South Africa. We have problems in South Africa. We have ANC that is wrecking votes. They don't want to go anywhere. They even created a GNU for us that we didn't want. Do we want that? No, we don't want that. But it's only fair that as South Africans or Africans, we deal with our issues with our countries. And we must stop dealing with issues out of anger. Out of anger to say my sister was chased out in South Africa or whatnot. You must look at what the problem is. You cannot all flock to a place, not all, obviously. Go to one place and you create your own rules and you expect the landlord to say, no, it's fine. You can switch off the light at any time. You can switch them on as you want. You can do whatever you want. It's just not making sense at all. I cannot come to Zimbabwe, Iris, to your house and tell you to do whatever at whatever time. Are you going to allow me to do that? To say, no, you know what, now that I'm in your house, you must sleep during the day. You must sleep at 12 midday. You must do this. You are not going to do that. And nobody is going to allow that to happen anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. Thank you so much, host.
Thank you, Karabo. Dr. Paul, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so I just want to respond on I said a lot of things, but there are certain points which I wanted to raise that when I was talking about Ndebele people and the diasporans, I was talking about the culture we see here in South Africa is not a culture which is admired in Zimbabwe. It's only admired by the people who idolize people here in South Africa. or who relate with people in South Africa. But when it comes to you saying fixing the country, that statement is just like a sound goal.
Doctor, hold on. Doctor, sorry, my brother. Doctor, can you elaborate on the culture that you see in South Africa as a Zimbabwean, that you can say, no, this one, guys, I think we mustn't do it?
Okay, so what I've noticed is they've got a way of living this side in such a way that they associate with a lot of violence. Everything is grounded around violence. This is my experience. Everything is just grounded around violence. This is of a particular tribe, so mostly the dominant ones who are here in South Africa. So what had happened is everything which they want to resolve, they resolve with violence. In such a that they have become a liability in the government of Zimbabwe, in the government of South Africa. Being in every protest which happens, there's a lot of money, millions and millions of money, which will be going into losses. So now this has been a trend. We can see it even 2008 going up. It has been a trend, and it has become so intense. To them, they call it fixing the country. Yet it's the freedom they were given to do these things without power to the economy. You understand? So what I've noticed is in Zimbabwe also, people who relate, okay, let's say the few, and I'm not saying all of them, the few, it's a drop of the ocean of the people who are from the Nguni descent. They want to idolize that, and they want to bring that in Zimbabwe, of which it's inapplicable in Zimbabwe, looking at the system and the people of Zimbabwe, how things are. Our history is completely different from South Africa. So that's why I was saying that if you want to take this system, this culture of violence, and this culture of violence, if you have gone to Eastern Cape or even go to KZN, but I know Eastern Cape, it's sort of part of the thing to be just violent. You get the point? I'm sorry if it sounds like an insult, but I'm talking from my experience. It's more like sort of a part of the culture thing to be just be violent. And it has even become even worse in South Africa. That people who go to the mountain come and it was stopped when those ones were now saying, okay, after you get to the mountain, you gotta unalive someone so that you can say you are now indored. You get the point? So that is not who we are in Zimbabwe. That is not who we are. And the last point of saying fixing the country, that statement you have to ask, like Mkoma game what he said. When you say fix the country, what do you mean? Because here in South Africa, blacks are not even fixing the country. They just have the country being controlled by the few people. In Zimbabwe, the country is being fixed, and the Zimbabwean government is inviting the Zimbabwean people to partake in the fixing of the country. This is what is happening in Zimbabwe. And we are happy, like my brother, what he said there. We are happy with where Zimbabwe is going so far. It's doing the right things, be it unity between the tribes, be it economy. People are coming. You want to tell me that you are smarter than Aliko Dangote, who comes and invests in Zimbabwe if it was a crisis? It's going somewhere, and we are going somewhere. And it's very important that we unite and we go and participate in what is happening. But hearing it from a South African to say fix the country, they don't know what they mean.
Okay. Dr. Paul, I hear you, my brother. I hear you. Myself as a Zimbabwean, I also do agree with you on certain points to say, okay, as a country, as Zimbabwe, we are not yet there. We still have a lot of things that we need to fix in the country. So it's up to us as the people of Zimbabwe. In the next 50 years, are we still going to be a burden to a neighbor? The answer is, to me, no. We don't want that. But I agree with you when you say our economy is coming all right. We are doing blah, 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 blah. It's fine. I accept that one. Myself, I'm that kind of a person. When something is wrong, I tell you straight away that this is wrong. If we did have, let us be honest, if we did have Mnangagwa, I don't support ZANU-PF. I don't support any political party in Zimbabwe. If we did have Mnangagwa from 1980 up until today, with the pace that is moving with, Zimbabwe could be somewhere else.
That is true.
Look what Mugabe did. 80%, 90% on the politics, 10% on the economy. I don't support them, but at least we do have something to say, guys. This is right. This is right. This is right. If this project is finished, we are going to have this. If this project is finished, we are going to have this. I support that, but let us not run away for the fact that we still have a long way to go. That's it. Ralph, you can go ahead. Let's go to.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Can I just say something?
Okay, Ashley, hold on. Ralph wanted to address Karabo before we come to you, my sister. I know you are here. Don't worry. I'm gonna give you 5 minutes to make your full submission. Ralph, are you there? You wanted to address Karabo?
Yes, I am. Okay.
Thank you.
Dr. Paul asked the same question that I have towards Karabo, because when people say Zimbabwe should go back to Zimbabwe to actually fix their country, when we people that are generally living in Zimbabwe, we see the progress that is being done in Zimbabwe. So now, don't you see that you are now at a position where you're trying to divide the progress? You are anti-progressive when it comes to Zimbabwe, because when you are in the diaspora and you see these people from the opposition, whenever obviously they are from the opposition, they want to be in power. They are going to paint a picture as if every situation in Zimbabwe is bad. You understand? So now when you say Zimbabweans, go fix your country, we are seeing progress. There is nothing to be fixed about. It's for us now as citizens to actually live within the growth mindset that is actually being initiated by the ZANU-PF government. You understand? I don't see any wrong with whatever the government is doing. How many government officials inside ZANU-PF have actually been arrested and brought to justice? We have the deputy finance minister. He was the former deputy finance minister. He was in prison for 3 years. You understand? And those are the kind of people that are stealing within ZANU-PF. We are not saying ZANU-PF is perfect, but we have individuals within ZANU-PF that are stealing, disregarding the fact that they were elected by the people, and they should put people's voices first before anything else. You understand? So I don't really like the mindset whereby you instigate anti-progressiveness inside Zimbabwe when we Zimbabwean citizens are seeing progress. All the foundations that have actually been laid out under the National Development Strategy 1 have all been accomplished, and thanks to the government, we are seeing progress. And don't instigate hate among us Zimbabweans, irregardless of whatever. I know you're not going to validate my statement, but in rhetoric, what you are saying, you mean it like that. You understand? So my question to you is, can these problems be solved within ZANU-PF? And if you don't agree, why is it that you feel like there should be a change of governance when we Zimbabweans are seeing progress within ZANU-PF?
Let me respond.
No, that is delusional there. I'm sorry.
Mr. ABL, how are you? Please hold. Let me respond to
Fine, thank you.
Space for you. Ralph, you know what? It's either, honestly, you're delusional. Number one, you've never heard me say you must go, the ZANU-PF is not fixing anything. You've never heard me say that. I don't know where you're getting the ideology that you are getting. Number one, I said the Zimbabweans, if a country is going to be successful, it's going to be successful with the number of the people is there. Right now, Zimbabweans, you have left the Zimbabwe to the Chinese people. They are mining in your country. You are in South Africa.
I'm saying there's a very lies claim. It's not true.
All right, guys, hold on.
No, don't interrupt.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna drop everyone.
They are mining.
Hold on, guys. Hold on, guys. Hold on. Let us not gang up on here. Let us give a chance to participate. We've got different people here. Some they are ZANU-PF, some they are opposition, some they are not from our country. Let us just respect everyone, because at the end of the day, we want a prosperous Africa. So let us just try to listen to each other. If someone is talking, close your mic, so that when you are talking also, they can also listen to you. It doesn't matter whether we are going to disagree, blah, 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 blah. Let us disagree, but let us disagree respectfully. Please, guys. Karabo, you can go ahead.
Okay, host, I'm gonna leave, but I was responding to Mr. Ralph there. Number one, when you respond, don't respond to anyone with what you think. Respond with what the person has said. If I say to you, you are black, respond to me to say I'm not black. Don't say, no, but the other people are black and because I'm in a black community, then therefore you are saying I'm black. No. Number one, nobody said Zimbabwe is not doing anything. Just for your information, so that you can see that it's not like we don't know. Coca-Cola is closing in South Africa. It's opening in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe has opened the biggest steel plant right now. It closed in South Africa. It's opening in Zimbabwe. So it's not like we don't know all of those things. We know. Your president was in Mozambique the whole week. They were discussing progressive things for Zimbabweans that are going to be happening. We know that. It's not like we don't know that. Right? But what are you Zimbabweans doing? You cannot have an elderly person sitting here on a pavement selling potatoes when they can be home doing something and seeing all this progress. Who is, with all this that is happening, all these companies that are going back, all these Mzungus that are going back to Zimbabwe to help develop Zimbabwe, who are they going to employ? They are going to employ all of those people who are there while you are busy chasing South Africans, while the South Africans are fighting their own government. We are fighting. We are not scared to say we're going to fight for our country. We don't want to go to any other countries. This is the only home we have, and this is the only home we know. And this is the only home we are willing to die for and willing to fix. And for you, Mr. Paul, let me tell you, there is nothing wrong with wanting to die for your country. This is where my ancestors are. This is where my mother's grave is, my father's grave is. I'm going to fight for my mother's grave because I want my children to know where their grandmother is laid to rest. You see, unlike other people, I believe in culture. I believe in who I am. I don't believe in the Western people and what the Western people are saying that I must believe in Jesus. I don't believe in Jesus. I believe in God and I believe in my ancestors, and I'm going to fight for my ancestors. Thank you so much, host. Can I please leave? Thank you for the opportunity, host. Thank you for protecting me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Karabo. Hold on, guys. I'm going to give everyone a question. Just hold on. Thank you so much, Karabo. Thank you so much. Let's go to, is it Dausmos? What's your name, man? How do you pronounce your name?
No, it's a cluster of abbreviations. My name is Lawrence.
Lawrence, you can go ahead, sir. Where are you from?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I am from South Africa.
Okay, you can go ahead, it's fine.
I'm a Rosie from South Africa. Let me put it like that.
Thank you, sir. Welcome.
Exactly. The problem that I see right now here is the problem of entitlement. Entitlement which was brought about by the colonizers, and of which I do not appreciate or support it. As young Africans, we were supposed to speak differently, like how we are doing it right now. When you say Zimbabweans, when you say South Africans, Malawans, it says to me you are still under apartheid. In fact, right now the apartheid is no longer from the whites, but it is from our own brothers. As I said, I'm a Roswi Kimorotse. Right now in South Africa, I speak Spedi. Originally, the Lozis, you know where they come from. I'm still an African in South Africa, enjoying my right as a South African, claiming to be born and bred away in South Africa. But initially, I am not from South Africa. And no one is from South Africa. Let me go even further. No one is from Zimbabwe. We are from up there in Africa. We were coming down because of you were seeking for greener pastures. Right now, what we're supposed to do is for us to unite against these guys that are ruling us. There's G20. G20, it calls upon what? Those allies that we're supposed to be against, not against each other. You are in Shona, you are in Ndebeles, you are in Zulu. Eventually, we are all brothers. There's a certain picture that I saw somewhere that called us Ngunis or Bantu. When I saw that picture, I realized that all of us, we are one and the same people. I'm not talking about anyone, I'm talking about me. There's a brother from Zimbabwe I met in 2019, 2018. That brother had a problem with me. He wanted to know where I'm from. I told him that I'm a South African. He said, no, you are lying. You're not a South African. The way you are, it shows that you are from far Africa, meaning Nigeria. I said, no. I don't have even a single relationship with Nigerians. I am true South African. What is it that I'm trying to say right now here? What we have on table right now, Zimbabweans, go back to your country. I think, I'm sorry, because of I heard words like delusional. I think that is stupidity at its uttermost best. There's no Zimbabweans, there's no Mozambicans, there's no South African. In fact, South African, the word South African, I hate it because of it's just a direction. It's not even a place. We are all Africans. We are all children of one and the same mother. Let us appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Let me just say, Mr. Dow. Thank you so much, Mr. Dow. Yeah, we want to see Africans love each other, respect each other, regardless of geographical location. That's what we all want. Respect and love. That's it. That's what we want. Let's go to AB. But thank you so much, my brother, for that powerful submission. Thank you so much, man. We want to see Africans prosper. Thank you.
Hi. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we can never really progress if we lie, either to ourselves or to each other. When Dr. Paul throws tribalist trope, like we've got these people that solve everything with violence, even in Zimbabwe, pretty much talking about Ndebeles, and at the same time claims that there is peace in Zimbabwe. Lack of violence does not mean there's peace. If there is terror, you can have terror control people so that there's no violence at the threat of terror, but that does not mean there's peace. Peace is when it's in the community also and in oneself that they feel peaceful, that they are free to be who they are. That is not the case in Zimbabwe. And the other brother who was saying, Ralph, saying that they love the government and the government, they're happy with the government. Speak for yourself. There are a lot of people in Zimbabwe, if you look at even the election, with a hamstrung opposition, Mnangagwa did not win by a landslide. So it's obvious that there's a big chasm in Zimbabwean society politically. So to say that, to make a claim that Zimbabweans love the government is patently false. And then the idea that there is nothing to fix in Zimbabwe, it's an oxymoron, it's stupid. If there was nothing to fix in Zimbabwe, why would all these Zimbabweans be flooding South Africa? There's obviously something broken that is fixing in Zimbabwe. Otherwise, everyone would be in Zimbabwe. Like you get a lot of people that in Rwandese are living in Rwanda because Rwanda doesn't need fixing. They're actually improving it, but they've got a home that they feel invested in. You look at other countries like Mauritius, like Seychelles, that are functional. Botswana is functional. People are living in Botswana because as much as it is improving, but they feel that they're part of it. In Zimbabwe, once you look at everywhere in the world, wherever there's a genocide, you need true leadership to unite the people. Zimbabwe, Gukurahundi was a genocide. And when you're talking about unity, it doesn't exist. And then when you're actually talking about fixing, yes, we have to admit that infrastructure development has improved a lot since Mugabe was deposed. compared to it's day and night between Mugabe and Mnangagwa in terms of infrastructure. When I'm talking infrastructure here, I'm not talking about housing, which a lot of people jump to. I'm talking about things like roads, like dams in the rural areas, because you want to build those to avoid people running to the cities so that people can sustain themselves in the rural areas where 60% of the population lives. And some of the things, but the worst of Mnangagwa is corruption. You can see that fat boy who's actually doling out money with who's a friend of the president, who's doling out money without any clear source of income, without any company that you can talk of that would generate that kind of profit or revenue. So Zimbabwe does need fixing. And those who say that it does not need fixing, they should ask themselves why even themselves are not in Zimbabwe, but they are in South Africa or in other countries. So let's not fool ourselves. And until we understand what the problem is, we can never solve it and fix it. So let's confront the problems as they are and be honest with ourselves.
Thank you so much, AB. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, my brother. You have nailed it. 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 Let us speak the truth. Let us try the best way we can. As Zimbabweans, this is the problem. How are we going to solve the problem? If somebody comes here and said Zimbabwe is doing well, ask them about the numbers. Okay? If Zimbabwe is doing well, what about this? What about this? What about this? That's what you want to hear. That's what you want to hear from people. Because we do have a lot of Zimbabweans in Zimbabwe, outside Zimbabwe, who are planning to, do business in Zimbabwe. So let us ask each other those questions. Okay, Ralph, you are saying, my brother, Zimbabwe is going well. In which area? Because the people are listening. The world is going to judge us based on what we are saying here. But let us do it respectfully. Let's go to... is it Terry who come first or Gabriel?
Yeah, it's me.
Terry, you can go ahead. Where are you from?
I'm from Zimbabwe.
Thank you. You can go ahead, man.
Thank you. Let me say, the situation in Zimbabwe, I can call it an abusive relationship, where most people, they will tend to play victim. If you talk about the ZANU-PF, which you are talking about, like somebody who's like their ambassador here, Ralph, is playing victim that everything is okay. The thing which is there in Zimbabwe is only a crony. If you are not the cronies, in the ring of the cronies of the ZANU-PF people, you have nothing. You have nothing. I tell you, there's a lot of people, young people are growing up who need some licenses, who need some businesses to be approved. But it's a problem for it to be approved. How can you ask for $1 million from a citizen to start mining? It's a business. I'm a citizen. I want to do the production of mining. Mining, there's something where I find there's any mineral there. For me to have that license to do that thing, they want $1 million. Is it something which is like productive?
Mr. Chair, hold on. Mr. Chair, just hold on, man. Let us clarify this, right? Are you in the mining sector? Have you ever tried this?
Yes, I've tried it.
Which category are you whereby they asked you for $1 million?
For me to have a license?
Yeah, because it goes with the categories.
So maybe if you can clarify for me which minerals does need $1 million. You
said if you want to start, you want to register.
Because
hold on. People are listening. Be very careful. That's why I say, did they ever ask you for $1 million?
Listen, if I say $1 million, it doesn't mean that million, but that much. How can people, the black people like me, afford that certain amount which they ask for me to have a license? Because if they put a certain amount for me to have, so that I can legalize my mining. But now they put some certain amount which I can't afford.
Hold on. Do you know anyone who was charged a certain amount of money?
I'm one of the people.
How much did they charge you?
Do you want me to divulge the information here? Is this not a miracle?
You know what, man? Did you hear what ABL said? He said, if you want to build Zimbabwe, let us be honest. That's why I'm asking you. Who charged you?
We don't be open on the platform here unless if I'm into office. Yes, I can do that and have the proof.
You see, my brother, you are one of the problems that we have in Zimbabwe.
Yeah. It's not true, Terry. It's not true, Terry.
Is the proper answer.
Terry, hold on. Terry, we do have problems in Zimbabwe, but let us not exaggerate these problems.
No, that's the same thing I'm asking you. Do I have to indulge my information here on the platform, or I have to come into the office of the mineral resources?
No, Terry, nobody here is in parliament. So if you come here with information, make sure that is truthful, because we know what is happening. Yes. There is no one who has ever asked Kuti, you must pay $1 million. That's why I asked you the first question. I said, which category of mining were you planning to do?
That's why I told you. It's not. Don't interrupt me when I'm still talking.
Okay.
Yes. Because if you go to say you want a license for mining, they ask you what category, what type of minerals, and the place. The thing is, they put the certain charge which you can't afford so that they can go before you to that place. So do you think I still have to have that license if they've gone forward before me to have that place?
How much do they ask you? Maybe we can start there. How much did they ask you for?
It was around the 16,000.
No. What mineral did you want to mine? What mineral did you want to mine?
It's diamond.
They ask you for 16,000. Do you know that you can get a prospecting license? No, you start with a prospecting license. Did you start with a prospecting license? Terry, I understand that sometimes we do extrapolate things from little attempts which are not necessarily we don't follow through with. No. But we have to be careful so that we are factual when we actually talk about things.
No, that's what
I know for a fact. I know for a fact that
like the way I'm talking here. Is it like I'm under interrogation because you want to know which other company or where the place is, or
no? I'm not asking about the place. You said that if you want a mining license, you get asked for $1 million, and I'm sorry to say that I know people who are in that. And when I say I know people, it's not like third party or third story. I'm talking about directly, and I know that they got licenses.
Okay, those people whom you know. Are they the people who are responsible for giving us the license or what?
No, they're people that have applied for licenses and they got licenses for mining.
That's why you see. That's why I'm saying. When I said cronies, when I started talking, cronies, whom do you know? How are you connected to that person?
I'm not ZANU. I've never been ZANU, and I'm unlikely to ever be ZANU. I'm not a crony. Like I'm just talking about facts.
This thing, it goes about, are you a crony? Are you in the same ring of the people? Because like if all these people who are going to find with those guys, doesn't mean everybody is not a Zimbabwean. But there's people
I said I'm not ZANU. So I cannot be a ZANU crony if I'm not ZANU and I'm not a crony of ZANU.
Which means the friend whom you get the information from is a crony of the ZANU people.
Okay, no. It's fine.
Okay, let's leave it.
It's fine, ABL and Terry. Terry, my brother, I respect you so much, but let us not over-exaggerate things. Because when you come here,
can't say I'm
over. Hold on, my brother. Hold on. I'm not against you. I'm here to fight corruption. So you don't know who is on the panel. Some of us, we are in those sectors. Some of the people, they've been in these sectors. Some of them, they are even doing it right now. I can bring someone here with information who is on the ground doing what exactly you wanted to do. That's why I asked you which category asked you for that lump sum of money for you to start mining in Zimbabwe. So let us try to be factual whenever we are presenting these things, but it's fine. Let's go to Gabriel. Gabriel, how are you? Gabriel, you can go ahead, sir.
Hello.
Good man. You can go ahead, man.
Are we responding to the prompt?
You can go ahead, man. You can do as you please, sir. You can debunk. You can. It's up to you now.
Okay, but Maybe I'm still confused about the topic. Someone can have the floor.
Okay, it's fine. Fighter, how are you? Fighter, how are you? Are you there? Fighter, are you there? Or go to Diva? Okay, it's fine. Let's go to Diva. Diva, are you there? Guys, can you hear me or something is wrong?
Yes, we are not allowed
to hear you. To the next person.
You threaten the people now, so that's why they're afraid to talk.
No, I'm not threatening. Yeah, brother, listen, Terry. Here we ask questions and demand answers. That's who we are here. We are not just a random platform whereby we let people run around. We scrutinize you. We want to hear exactly what is happening on the ground. So when you come here with fairy tales and say, no, Zimbabwe, we are being charged $1 million, we asked you, who charged you? Which sector? By when? Then if you are lying, then we are going to expose you. For you have been lying, my brother. There is nobody charge you that amount. It might be a lot of money to other people, but not to that. No, guys, please, man. Please.
Okay. Can we just Chief? Let me explain something to Terry. Terry, when I'm talking about third party, it's actually I'm in a group that is doing that. That's why I wasn't being pushing. I'm in a group where we are doing that. So that is why I was saying that. Does it make sense? So that is why I was questioning you. So it's not that I was just trying to push back on you or to just go for you. Because the concern I have with that, if we let that slide, it means that there may be people on here who are listening here who might be interested in going in those areas, but don't do it because of what they hear here. That is why I tend to jump in and try make sure that we are factual in what we're actually spreading. There's no offense required.
Not in the ministry or...
I'm not in the ministry.
Yes, but how can you be factual with that much information you have if you're not a person who is inside the ministry?
Okay, I can be factual because what will happen is that in our group, we applied for a prospecting license and then we got mining rights. And the thing that...
Now you get where I wanted you to be. In a group. You get it?
Yeah.
So which means if anybody is not in that group, you can't get it unless you have to go through the group. That's what I was saying.
No. You're missing it. We formed a group because we wanted to share the expenses. And by forming the group, we contribute in terms of expenses. And then we actually applied for prospecting and then the mining. So it's not that the group is a ZANU group or a government group or a mining ministry group. This is a private group. Like we could perform a group right here. And then once you form this group, we put our monies together and then we submit applications.
And can I just add this point that in short, what these brothers are saying is it's easy for you to get in the mining business in Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans are more privileged to do that. Maybe we may be having difficulties in other sectors, but when it comes to mining, land for farming, it's so easy. And I remember when I spoke to Personal Minister of Mines, he told me that you are not supposed to buy land for mining. You just look at the land, you just get the land, you claim the land for mining, then you get the license, which are under $100. Then from there you start to do, as long as you have the equipment, you can do. If you don't have the equipment, you go under JV program, joint venture, whereby you get now the group of people. I think that's what ABL is under, the JB joint venture, whereby you come as a group of people, say, okay, let's all take team on this mining so that you can have profit. They're also in Zimbabwe.